Alright, so welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about James Charles and what he's been up to. So in this video we're probably going to cover a multitude of different topics. We're going to move from one to another, little bits, put them all together and figure out whether he's been cancelled again. So we're going to start with the events he's been going to. Now YouTubers often go to these events and it is always, or very often, it's a little bit awkward. You see, YouTubers are the odd ones out in these events. It's usually people that are film stars or actresses. They're the same thing, Wadey. They are the same thing. But it's usually people who aren't YouTubers. There are people who run businesses and people who are just really genuinely famous for mostly films. And obviously YouTubers don't tend to fit into that mould. They'll have a little clique, all the film stars being together. And when a YouTuber gets invited, it's a little bit like the odd one out. Now, if you've ever been the odd one out, then you obviously do feel sorry for James Charles in this situation. There was one where he went to another event and he basically went on the red carpet and nobody spoke to him. It was a bit awkward and it wasn't very nice to watch. And as much as I'm not James Charles' biggest fan, you don't want anyone to be left out or feel like they're not wanted. Because at the end of the day, whether you like James Charles or not, these people that get invited to these events are doing so much good for YouTube, and for people like me, it puts YouTube on the map, it adds some legitimacy to YouTube, and it's not just a random kid stood in his bedroom or sat in his bedroom talking about Danielle Cohen over and over again. Now, so many people say, why was James Charles invited? Because as far as they're aware, James Charles is not a famous enough name. Just a quick pause to tell you that at the end of this video, there will be a comment of the day, and if you get the comment of the day, leave it in the comments, and you'll be granted hero status on the Wadey channel. There's a real stigma around YouTubers. Like, if any news outlet ever reports on a YouTuber, on Twitter or on social media, go in the comments and it's all like middle-aged men called Brian or Bob saying, who is this? I don't care, I don't care. Well, if it was anybody else, they would care. It's just like I think it's a little bit of jealousy, to be honest. A little bit of jealousy that people can kind of do this for a job. I think that's kind of where it comes from. And one person was having a go at James Charles on Instagram, and he wasn't having it, he wasn't taking it, and this is what he responded with. Why do you keep getting invited to these? Because the point of award shows is literally to bring in views, and in case you haven't noticed, YouTubers do that for them. The real question is, why do you keep inviting yourself to my comment section? Whether James Charles should be there or not is up for debate, but if I got invited to one of these, nobody would know who I am at all. Would it stop me going? Absolutely not. I would definitely go. It would be such a good experience. Not that I'm gonna get invited, but I'm just saying, why would you turn it down if you were James Charles? Now, other people, they've been talking about what he was wearing. Now, I am not a fashion connoisseur. You might have noticed I seem to wear the same 3 colours every single video. But I'm going to discuss it anyway. So one of the first events he went to, he wore this white thing. And the next event, he wore this white thing. And the next event, he wore this white thing. They're all slightly different white things, but they're sort of the same white things. You might notice that I'm not entirely down with the fashion, but I can see that these outfits are very similar. And I can talk about that. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? You could say that James Charles got a lot of money. You could say that he can afford someone to get him some different clothes, and fair enough, whatever, but does it really affect your life? Does it really matter? I am James Charles' biggest critic, and even I'm defending him here. Just let the lad wear what he wants to wear. He might like that outfit. If you like an outfit and you want to wear it 14 times in a row, then I have no problem with that. It's like the girl from Love Island, Molly May. Some newspaper ran an actual newspaper article because she wore the same clothes 24 hours in a row. That's when you know your life has gone on a very downward spiral. I mean, I'm sat in my bedroom talking about what James Charles is wearing. I thought mine had gone downhill. But someone has actually gone to university and done a degree. They've actually studied years of their life. They've dedicated their life to this, to run an article about how someone's wearing the same clothes for 24 hours. Can you just have a bit of a day off? So then I suppose we'll move on to the weight situation. Now don't worry, you've not just gone 4 months back in time, but if you do re-jog your memory, you'll be aware that this whole James Charles, Tati and Jeffree Star sort of drama, when he lost 3 million subscribers, all started because of a waiter. Tati and James Charles had gone to a restaurant for Tati's birthday, and this waiter and James Charles liked him. So he set it all off. He even made a video speaking about it. He made a lot of different comments, and he did definitely not help the situation. He definitely made it worse for James Charles. Definitely. I don't think there's any real dispute in that. So why, James Charles, why was he at your house the other day? And why did he feel the need to post a photo so everybody knew he was at your house? It's not like you secretly met up and nobody really should have known. He did this on purpose. He put this image out. I don't know whether you told him to or what happened, but this is what really frustrates me about James Charles. There was literally no need for this. This was creating drama for drama's sake. This was just feeding commentary channels like myself, and this was just to keep his name in the news. James Charles has put his pool, what his pool in his back garden looks like, many times. People know what it looks like. So when this waiter posted the exact same image of the exact same pool, it wasn't difficult for people to put two and two together and realise he was at his house. So people were saying, why has this happened? Why are you inviting someone who basically told alleged lies and basically tried to ruin your career and your life and everything you have got? Why would you want to meet up with this person and not go to the other end of the entire universe? Well, James Charles came out and he said that they need to talk through some things, which is fine. I mean, that's acceptable, I guess. I don't really know the ins or the outs. But why on earth did you feel the need to allow him, or did he feel the need to do it, to post a photo so everybody knew he was there? There's only really one explanation to that. It is that James Charles is a clout monster. He is, yes he is. Clout monster James Charles has come to Earth and he feels the need, he needs to grace the earth with his presence. But moving on to the last one and moving back to the awards, he went to an award the other day, which is where this whole video idea came from. And he had a photo with someone, and I don't know who she is, which is probably very bad, and you're all probably going to slate me in the comments, but I don't care. There's this girl who had a photo with James Charles, and my voice is going. It was a girl who had a photo with James Charles, and after taking said photo, she pulled a very funny face as if she didn't actually want to take the photo, and people on Twitter went a little bit mental. They were saying how disrespectful it was, how horrible it was, and if that happened to them, they would be raging. And do you know what? I kind of agree. It does look very bad. It looks like it's in very bad taste. It doesn't look like something someone should be doing, especially on a red carpet where, there's hundreds of cameras and hundreds of people watching and the eyes of the world are on the red carpet. If you're going to do it, just don't do it there. You would think these people that are so famous and got so many different advisors would have a few more brain cells knocking about, that they could just think that, yeah, probably best not doing this where everybody could see because it might look quite bad. It's the same with YouTubers that have got so much money and continue to do stupid things. Like when Zoella last year, when she kept releasing books and kept doing things that were very just made you a bit sceptical about her actual intentions. Just why? It appears she's now listened to her management and she has now just disappeared from the face of the earth before she can do anything bad. She should probably get her boyfriend to do the same thing when he decided he wanted to remove commentary channels from the face of the earth. But I'm sure you all know somebody, you all know a famous person that just can't stop. I've mentioned Danielle Cohn, but I mean, she's a child. James Charles, he can't stop either. He is addicted to drama, he is. He just loves it, he thrives off it, and some have said, I've seen people mention in the past, that his whole career, his whole livelihood is built on drama and controversy. Because let's be honest, if drama channels like myself, or a commentary channel, whatever you want to call me, if we didn't speak about James Charles would get less views. The whole situation with Tati, although it temporarily did, absolutely terrible for his career, it's now done even better. The views he got after that situation were unbelievable. The money he got was unbelievable. He didn't really lose any sponsors or anything like that. And now he's gained all his subscribers back. He's not really lost at all. He's now in a better situation than he would have been had this whole situation not happened. I'm not saying it's a nice situation to be in, because it's obviously not. When people are telling lies essentially, or alleged lies about you, it's obviously not a nice situation. And now he might have had a few more subscribers had this situation not happened, because he's probably not gained them all back yet, but he gained an incredible amount of money from the views, because it was like a 45-minute video, and he also hasn't lost any of his sponsors, so it's a bit of a win-win for James Charles. And then lastly, we'll move on to that photo. I've left it last because I'm not entirely sure what words I can use to describe it. So if you've been on social media over the past week and you've not been living under a rock, you'll be aware that James Charles and a few of the YouTubers' accounts got compromised, shall we say, and they threatened to post a certain image. So James Charles, being James Charles, And it was pretty good response, to be fair. He decided he'd put the image out instead of them, because then they haven't got anything like to hold him over. They haven't got anything that he doesn't want to be out there on the internet. So he posted it, and it was, I don't know, it's one of those things like you never want to see again. One of those things you feel like you need some like holy water to put into your eyes. But now it's on the internet forever. Now where these people would have actually put something out there, or where they even had access to it, we've no idea. But it apparently all became about because of a company called AT&T, I think it's in America, which is a bit like a mobile phone sort of company, if I'm right. People have been ringing up and saying, can you switch like SIM card to a different phone, yada yada yada. They've done that without basically any security questions, and loads of YouTubers' accounts have been compromised, and hence loads of messages and all different private personal things have been made public, which is just really terrible, and really terrible publicity for AT&T, if that is the company. I hope it is, otherwise I'm probably going to get sued. So the comment of the day is light bulb. Yes, it is. I'm not sure why this is such a big light bulb, but light bulb is the comment of the day. If you want to go and follow me on social media, then it is at WadeyTC, so go and do that if you fancy, and if not, then I hope you've had a good day. I've ruined my outro for the 3rd time in a row. Thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed. Please like, comment and subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you next time.